Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my updated birth plan. I did a pre-birth plan, which I will link down below. I honestly have no clue what's on it, but if you guys want to go back and look at that, that's fine. We just edited a whole bunch before we took it to our doctor because I did that video probably at like 28 weeks, and I took it to my doctor last week at 36 weeks. I'm still sick, obviously, because I'm recording this video the same day that I did my hospital bag. So hopefully I don't have the baby by the time this video goes up, but we'll see. But the doctor accepted everything on our plan. We didn't have to change anything, so yeah, I just want to let you guys know the updated plan and stuff like that, so you guys know as far as my labor and delivery video when that happens. So basically that's all I can think of, so I'm just going to get started. If you guys want a layout of how I got mine, I can post it on my Facebook fan page. You just have to ask me, but I'll obviously be deleting like the personal information, like our last names and stuff like that. So basically it says my last name and then birth plan. It says mother-to-be is me, and then the support persons are my boyfriend, my sister, and my mom. I do not want anybody else there when I'm in labor. Like I said, everything could change how I feel when I'm in labor. I might want everybody there. But we're allowed to have 5 people in there during labor, and then during delivery I'm pretty sure it's only 2. So my sister's supposed to be going on vacation on the 29th, and my due date's the 26th. So if he comes earlier than when she leaves, she'll be in the room with my boyfriend, and if not, it's going to be my mom when I deliver. Or that might change too, just depending on how I feel. I might just want my mom there. And my boyfriend, obviously. So I just have all three of their names written down, so the nurses know. But my doctor never said anything about that, so I'm not sure if I'm allowed to have 3. He's pretty lenient, so he might let me. Basically, it says this birth plan is intended to express the preference and desires I have for the birth of my son. It is not intended to be a script. Excuse me. I fully realize situations may arise such that my plan cannot and should not be followed. However, I hope that barring any extenuating circumstances, you will be able to help me and keep me informed and aware of my options. Thank you. That's just what it says in the beginning, and my doctor liked that, I guess. As far as the labor part, oh man, I asked to maintain mobility for as long as possible, walking, rocking, up to the bathroom, etc. He said that is perfectly fine. He never once mentioned that I couldn't if my membrane's ruptured. Obviously, the nurses are the ones that take care of you. The doctor's just kind of there to catch the baby and to say yes or no on medications. But my doctor basically stated that he's in control. They have to run everything by him. So if they give me a problem, to just talk to him about it or ask for him, and they might put him on the phone for me or whatever if he's not there, but he'll be there to deliver either way. So anyways, he said I could do it. My nurse, or my birthing class teacher, is a nurse at the hospital, and she said that they don't let you walk around at all, even in your room, if your membranes have ruptured, for risk of infection, but we'll see. I want to be able to eat ice chips, take a few sips of water, and snack on hard candy to maintain energy. He said that's perfectly fine. He said they also give out popsicles. I haven't mentioned that I plan to have an all-natural birth with either a shot of Demerol or morphine for pain. I want no epidural in any way, shape, or form, and I feel very, very strongly on that. So the reason I asked for Demerol or morphine, which is another reason why I don't want an epidural, I am severely allergic to a lot of pain medications like Percocet, Darvocet, Ultrium, Tylenol 3, stuff like that. I just can't take it. It makes me sick and it almost kills me. So that's another reason why I don't want to put something else in my system that I've never had, especially when I'm already going through the worst pain of my life. So I've had Demerol before for migraines, and I've had morphine before. So I requested that, and I'm surprised that he didn't say something about that, because most doctors, if you straight out request a certain medication, they'll say, no, this is what you're getting, because they get irritated that you specifically want something. But my doctor didn't say anything about it. He just said, that's fine. And another thing is my birthing class teacher said, I think policy is 6 centimeters that you're not allowed to, especially if you're breastfeeding, get another shot. You're allowed to have up to 3 shots in the period of your labor, but after 6 you're not allowed to have any because they can get to the baby's bloodstream and blah blah blah. And yes, we are worried about that, but he's already had a shot of morphine technically, or not morphine, Demerol, when I first got pregnant because I had a major migraine and they couldn't stop me from quit throwing up, so they had to give me one of those. Also, he's been through an MRI and a CT without me knowing, with contrast on both, so pretty sure he'll be okay with some Demerol and morphine. But yeah, my doctor said that's fine, so I like that. And I also asked to do relaxation techniques as far as breathing and focusing and stuff like that. He said that's perfectly fine. Oh, like I was trying to say, the nurse said 6 centimeters. He's told me 8 when I went and seen him last week. He said I can have these shots up to 8 centimeters and the baby should be fine. As long as I'm not like progressing like boom, 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 like within 4 hours I give birth of being there. So, yeah, 8 centimeters, he said I'm allowed to still receive some if I'm not getting epidural, but he said once I hit 10, it's going to hurt, so he just kind of said that's when I'm going to want an epidural, but he wasn't against it this time for some reason. Maybe he was just having a better day. He also mentioned, which we already planned on, to stay home as long as possible. One, because he doesn't have to go in there, and my hospital doesn't do on-call unless the doctor's on vacation, so it doesn't matter what doctor's there, he's delivering the baby type of deal. But he said to stay home as long as possible in labor because basically we're in control and not the hospital. I'm sorry, this video is probably going to be all over the place because I'm really not feeling good and I'm trying to talk, which makes it worse. Be able to use the birthing ball as much as possible is another thing that I mentioned. The hospital said they have 2 to 3, and if they're not all taken and they're sterilized, I can definitely use one. But if not, I have an exercise ball. For some reason, when we call, I'm going to ask if they have a birthing ball, and if they say they don't, then I'll just take my exercise ball. I said I'd like to wait as long as possible before putting on external monitors. He said basically when they put me on them, I'm stuck on them. But that doesn't really bother me too much because then I can still be on the birthing ball and stuff like that. The reason I asked that was because I want to maintain mobility as long as possible. I'd like to avoid a C-section at all costs possible unless there is an emergency. My doctor, like I've mentioned before, has the lowest C-section rate in the state of Ohio. So, yeah, that's pretty amazing. And he said I was right on his alley because he has people that come in there and request C-sections and he refuses them. He does not like doing C-sections, which is amazing for me. If my membranes are still intact, I would like an option of a warm bath for pain relief. He said that's perfectly fine, but the the birthing class teacher said that that wouldn't be fine. So like I said, it's probably just going to be me versus the nurses the whole freaking time, and they're going to be pissed off at me because I'm going to be wanting to talk to my doctor every 5 seconds. As far as induction and augmentation, I would prefer to use natural methods to start labor, and I prefer to walk around to speed up labor. No Pitocin or any form of it unless it's necessary. If you're a breastfeeding mom, you get an epidural, Pitocin, anything like that, it's in your breast milk, and that's why I don't want it. But also the pain meds that I'm getting goes in your breast milk too. So basically, it's just kind of you just have to like kind of limit what you're doing. Plus, the less interventions you do during labor are less likely to cause an emergency C-section or anything like that that might need to be done. This is what my doctor said. I did not say that. As far as birth, I want to push at my own pace so I can prevent tearing. I don't really remember what he said about that, but I remember him commenting on that for some reason. He said for repair, local anesthesia is fine. And also, as far as baby care, I prefer the father to cut the cord. He said he does never cut the cord, even in an emergency. He just has the father do it really fast. Breastfeeding only as soon as possible, as I also want to meet with a lactation consultant. He was really surprised that I had that on there, because most mothers don't know to breastfeed right away, that they have to tell them. So he was really shocked that I had that on there, and he said that's perfectly fine. No separation of mother or baby at all. I prefer to have all procedures done with me present. This is a new policy at my hospital, I guess he said, which is good, because this is what I want, that they don't separate mother and baby unless baby has to go to NICU or has jaundice and has to go to the nursery. So other than that, they do the baby's first bath, the baby shots of vitamin K and stuff like that. I forgot to ask him if vitamin K is a law in Ohio. I'm going to have to ask him at my next appointment, because I really don't want the baby to get vitamin K, but yeah, I need to ask him. I said, please do not give my son a pacifier unless I have given permission. The reason I have that on there is because we're not even 100% sure if we're going to give him a pacifier, and I know that sometimes they'll just pop a pacifier in the baby's mouth. No circumcision. You guys have already seen that video on that. He said that's perfectly fine, and no Hep B shots or any other vaccines without my consent. He said they will never do anything without my consent. I find that false, because they usually do. Like, they'll sneak some paperwork in there that doesn't really say something, and they'll still do it. But, like I said, no separation of me and the baby will help that, of me knowing what they're going to give him. We are delaying vaccines, so that's why I'm not doing the Hep B shot, and plus he'll have a 2-week appointment, and I'll talk to his pediatrician again then. So yeah, other than that, that is our birth plan, and yeah, hopefully it gave you guys some ideas of what you guys may want. And if you guys have went all natural with no medication, or like no epidural and stuff like that, let me know like what your tips and tricks are. I'm like getting more nervous that it's getting here, that I can't do it, even though I know I can, because I'm very, very stubborn, and people keep saying that, oh, you're going to get an epidural. No, just because you keep saying that, I'm going to not get it, just because I'm that stubborn. So just let me know if you guys have any tips or tricks, or what worked best for you type of deal. So yeah, like I said, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!